Guys, you know I recorded a whole 45-minute video and that bitch did not save. I'm so mad. Now, I know everything happens for a reason, right? But when you know that the video and the message was so good, like the message was so good, like it's a message that you guys would have enjoyed because it was encoded with so much humor, but gems that would have made the humor more acceptable and digestible, you know? And I was not going to re-record this video. I was not. It wasn't until I was sitting down watching Transformers 2, right? Which was also in the other video as I mentioned to watch, right? That I had Spirit say, hey, go and re-record. I was like, no way in hell, bitch, I ain't recording. I ain't recording it. I'm not going to do it. But here I am. Okay, so we're gonna recap. I don't know if this message is going to be 45 minutes long, but let me tell you something. I am not splitting up the videos. If it goes over 40 minutes, then yeah, I'll split it up because it takes long to upload onto TikTok, right? But if it goes 45 minutes or it's less than that, y'all go sit through and watch a 30-minute video. And if y'all don't, it's not for you. Okay? Because I got time to be chopping and anyway, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to recap. So, as we know, we're in eclipse season because that's what they made me aware of. We're currently in eclipse season. So some of you may have been in a space where you finding maybe last night and even tonight, your sleeping patterns were a little bit off. Some of you are waking up in cold sweats, hot sweat. Some of you are just sweating buckets at nighttime. Your dreams, you may have been having really, really vivid dreams. Some of your dreams, you may have been astral projecting, or you may have been remote viewing to certain situations. Well, more so astral projection is what I'm hearing, to said situations that are going on in real time, but also you are astral projecting to moments to come, so like days ahead or weeks ahead, all right? And you're coming back with that information. That's why at the moment it's so crucial and important that you write down everything that you dream about. Every finding you get from your dream, you write it down, even if it doesn't make sense. I don't care if you dream about a giant cookie. I don't care if you dream about a talking hot dog. Write it down, okay? Because it's all meaning. There's all meanings in it, right? And every sort of symbol that you get has more than two meanings. It has dual meanings, okay? I'm getting for some of you that some of you may be in a space of dreaming of snakes. Snakes can also represent wisdom, but they can also represent backbiting as well, okay? Snakes in grass, something significant about that. But I am getting that for some of you, you have been in this space where your sleeping patterns have been a little bit off, okay? Some of you are currently going through ascension symptoms too. So some of you could be noticing that you could be having things like rashes, skin rashes particularly on the arm area, the upper arm area. Some of you could have rashes on the back and the back of your neck or side of your neck, or some of you it could even be like maybe your face, or it could be like I'm getting like this area, like maybe your chest or something, yeah, but bodily rashes, and then it may have come out of nowhere. I'm also hearing hives as well, and this could be triggered by something you're eating, which also brings me on, actually, okay, let's go back. It brings me on to the fact of something about feet as well. Some of you could be noticing that you're having pain in your foot, okay? So this could be around your ankle area, or this could be on the side of the inner foot, the inner sole, like from the back of the foot up until like the big toe. Some of you may need to go and get a reflexology session on your hands, but particularly your feet, okay? This is maybe a regular treatment that you need to start incorporating a bit more. There's something here about taking better care of your feet, okay? Manicure, pedicures, I feel like those things are just, you know, normal, but really taking care of your feet and your hands and just your body in general is going to be very, very beneficial for you at this particular time, especially for those of you that have winter seasons that are upon you. Now, I'm also getting as well, those of you going back onto the aspect of food, some of you may be noticing that you are having certain allergies, okay? So certain things you may have been okay with eating at one stage, you're gonna have to cut it out, okay? And I'm also seeing that with like skin products and makeup. Some of you have been maybe noticing that makeup doesn't agree with you anymore, and it doesn't matter what type of foundation, doesn't matter the brand, the make, whether it's vegan, non-vegan. It's like there is something, your body is rejecting any kind of chemicals when it comes to like makeup in particular that can't go on your skin, okay? That's your body reacting to it, and that's a part of the ascension symptoms as well. So also this can be soaps, creams, body ointment. Some of you are going to need to switch up your nighttime and morning self-care routines when it comes to certain topical products, okay? With the ascension symptoms is because not only is your light body activating, but you're going through a process where, and this was in the, like I said, I'm going to try and recap everything that I can remember, and then Spirit's going to bring in other things. But you're in this space where your physical body, as well as your star body, your star being body, so say some of you are, say, Pleiadian, or some of you are Octorian, or some of you are Andromedan, okay? If that is something that is, if your soul imprint is basically very connected to the star body, right, it's almost as if this merging is happening. So there is a merge of the human as well as the star body coming into integration, okay? So some of the characteristics and the cell remembrance of your previous star bodies, okay, from your star planets and your star lives, okay, are merging into the human body. So you may notice eye color changes. This is also another reason why your skin might be reacting very differently, okay? You may be noticing that your skin is you're either becoming darker or you're becoming fairer. One of that, some of you may notice something with your hair. So you may notice either your hair is thickening or it's changing color. And it might not be, and I don't mean like it's going from interesting, we didn't get this in the last video, but it might, I'm not talking about going from like black hair to gray hair. I'm talking like you could be going from a brown hair to blonde, or going from brown hair to ginger. Like literally you have ginger roots growing out of your head. So things like that. Or you could be noticing that you're going through hair shedding. I'm hearing alopecia. I'm also hearing like bald headed, clean shave, okay? And things of that nature, right? But you could be noticing that your health has kind of been up and down. There's something going on and you haven't necessarily changed anything. Some of you, for the most part, who are still eating like a healthy and a balanced diet, you're not noticing that things are just shifting within you and you haven't really done much. It's because your body is integrating these new star cellular DNA on a deeper level, on a energetic level, okay? So there is a merging of the star and the human body, okay? There's something about this integration, activation, and it is to do with your DNA as well, and also certain gifts and abilities that are coming into play. All right, now there is a question that Spirit is posing to a lot of you, and the question is are you surviving or are you thriving? And for those of you that say you are currently in a space of surviving, Spirit really wants you to sit in contemplation and reflection about that, and so that you can see where you can start to allow yourself to start thriving as opposed to just surviving. Because a lot of you are in this space now where Spirit has made your lives very, very, very uncomfortable, okay? Simply because where you're at is not for your highest benefit, nor is it in alignment with the highest timeline you're meant to be on, okay? Some of you are literally being taken from comfortability to uncomfortability, and I used this example in the last video and it had me chuckling. I just wish that video, everything has for a reason, but I just wish that video did not save. I wish it saved. But it's almost as if in this space that you're in now, you're basically, Spirit saying, mediocre. You're playing a mediocre life. There is so much more to you and what you signed up for and asked your spirit team to assist you with, what you're currently experiencing, especially if you know deep down you have this urge and this feeling to do more and to live more. And even some of you being in a space of regret or not necessarily regret, but pondering. I'll get onto that in a minute. Deep down, you know that you're meant for more. And this is the aspect that I'm speaking to. They're like, there was a point in your soul's blueprint that you agreed that if there was ever a point where you became stagnant, or you was not necessarily living up to your life's expectations, that you gave your spirit team and your ancestors all permission to intervene, to push you to the highest timeline. And this is the push, baby. This is the integration. This is the intervention. You gave them permission to intervene, and this is the intervention right here, okay? Because truth of the matter is that some of y'all have been running from your spiritual callings. Let's talk about it. Some of you have been running from your spiritual callings. Let's talk about it. So, as you will, spirit. Okay, so some of you, they're saying throughout our lifetimes, okay, especially if we are born as a human, throughout our lifetimes, there are about 3 to 5 entry points and exit points that we have. Now, the entry points are more talking about the major sparks in our lives that help us to timeline and quantum jump. We have mini quantum jumps, right, for every choice that we make, but then we have like these major like portal energy times, like 3 to 5 times throughout our lifetime is what they're showing me, where you make a massive jump and it almost feels like an overnight change, okay? And it's the same with wanting to exit this realm as well. You have 3 to 5 exit points, okay, where you are questioned and asked if you want to go or if you want to stay, okay? Now, some of you have had about 2 to 3 of those exit points already. Some of you may have experienced through near-death experiences, and some of you have been maybe experienced it through the aspect of you've just known. You've had incidences or accidents. I'm hearing a car crash that maybe you wasn't supposed to come back from, or a train crash as well is also what I'm hearing. And incidences with like a family home. I don't know if it's a fire or something blowing up or something like that, but there's I'm getting those, okay? And something to do with the sea as well. Something about being on like a boat or something. Some of you have just had miraculous ways of escaping death, basically, okay? And I don't say that to scare anyone. But on your journey, because I feel like I'm speaking to people that are maybe from the ages of about 30 up until maybe say 55, okay, and this sort of bracket, okay? Some of you have been in a space, right, where you've had okay, so let me get to this. So some of you have had energetic beings that have literally shape shifted into, right, human beings to come and help you along your journey, to help to wake you up, to help to get you in this space of really starting the process of really walking the path of your divine soul mission and what you really came here to do, okay? And some of you have had about 3 encounters, okay? Not all of them have been star beings that have literally, obviously, you know, gone down levels in consciousness, shapeshift into a human, but you've had human earth angels as well who have come into your life to help to shift you and get you on a spiritual path, whether that's been through whatever medium that is, whether that's through, you know, spirituality, religion, just awareness of self, exercise, whatever it is, right? And each time you have taken a peek behind the veil, but you haven't stuck to it long enough. You haven't been in a space of, okay, do you know what, I'm actually going to really dive into this regardless of what it is that I'm seeing, and whatever fears may come up, I'm going to work through them. You've just peeked and been like, yeah, that ain't for me. Okay, cool. It's almost like I'm seeing someone open the door, right? You open the door, so like someone comes into your life and they start telling you about, you know, psychic abilities, and they start talking about crystals and source energy and all that stuff, and you're like, okay, and on a deeper level something is resonating with you. It's like your intuition is kind of giving you these little spidey senses, like everything's going off, you're getting goosebumps, you're feeling stuff, right? And you're like, okay, so I'm like, something about what this person is saying is, it's definitely resonating true with me, okay? So it's almost as if like you've got this door, this energetic door, okay? And it's like you open the door, I'm like seeing someone open the door, and it's like they look, they're peeking through, like you're peeking through, right? And then you glimpse something you don't like, and you're like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that today. We're not going to do that today. So then you carry on with your life, do what you're doing, doing what you're doing, do what you do. And some of you may have been in a space of experiencing being an NPC. So someone who is not necessarily awake, yeah, or awoken to the fact that there is more to this life than what meets the... I swear something does not want me to get this message out, because the amount of interruptions, this is pissing me off. Anyway, you could have been an NPC, and now you're awakening, okay? And this is for a reason. So then you have another person who comes along, and this person might be an earth angel, and you know you've dabbled, but you ain't really dabbled much, and they're coming in and they're explaining things to you. They're talking about meditation and yoga and breath work and why it's beneficial for the body and da da da, and you're like, okay. And then you open that door again. This time you put a little bit more of your body through, and you're looking at what's on the other side, and you're like, yeah, I can get with this. And then you spot something you don't like, and you're like, yeah, no, forget it. And you close the door back again. Then you have a third person coming in, talking about like healthy eating and how it helps to raise your vibration, and how all the animals and humans are connected, and you know how certain planets are portals, and and you're like, okay. This time you've opened the door fully now. You're literally standing in the doorway. You even got a little bit of your body just looking and whatnot, and you're standing at the door a little bit longer. And then something, an experience hits you, and you feel like you are unstabilized, and you're like, yeah, let me just close that back. There we go. Spirit's like, okay, we have given you several opportunities to get back on track. We have given you many opportunities to get back on track, and you agreed, you said, you energetically signed, right? And agreed that if there was ever a time you became stagnant upon this journey, we were to intervene. This is the intervention, baby. This is the intervention. So the analogy they had given me before on the video that didn't save was that, you know how sometimes when you're trying to, like, they're giving me like a house, you're in the house kicking and screaming, spirits come base, and the reason why you're kicking and screaming is because spirits basically come and said to you, okay, look, this location, this place where your surroundings, your environment is not necessarily the best for you. We need to fast track you, okay? We need to get you to somewhere else. We need to get you onto the track. We need to get you into the location. We need to get you to the destination that is best suited for you. But you're like, nah, I'm good, because it's been a long time since you've experienced this level of peace for a long time, and you've gone through all of the lessons and stuff in order to get to this point where it's peaceful, there's no problems. You're Gucci, right? You feel like you're comfortable. That's the problem. You're comfortable, okay? You're comfortable. You're the comfortable constable, okay? Like, you're comfortable. So Spirit's like, no, because eventually this is not going to be as peaceful. And you're like, well, I'm happy to enjoy the peace right now. And Spirit's like, no. So instead of dragging you out of the house kicking and screaming, what they've done is they have left the house. You thinking that is cool, right? You have left the house. They've closed the door, and they have literally uprooted the whole house with you in it, and moved you inside this house to the location or placing you on the timeline that you need to be on. They were like, bitch, we don't care if we ain't gonna take you, we'll take you and the house, okay? And they're moving you to where you need to be. So for a lot of you, this is going to look like a lot of abrupt changes, okay? Which is why it's so crucial that this is happening around the time of the eclipse, okay? After the eclipse, so you could have been finding that there was a lot of things that were chaotic today. You could have been finding that, just chaotic communication, things going missing, disappearing, reappearing, feeling out of sorts, a lot of energy in your body, not knowing why you feel confused. There is a lot of energy that you're experiencing right now because you are going through such a a massive rebirth, like reborn, okay, is also what I'm hearing, right? So you're in this space, so they are literally doing that, and that's gonna come in the way of, like, for instance, you may go into work one day and they're like, yeah, we're gonna have to let you go, and you're like, hold on, I didn't even know the company was letting people go. I didn't even know that this was taking place. What's happening? Do you know what I mean? So, or it could be all of a sudden your partner or your spouse is like, yeah, I can't do this relationship no more. Or, you know what, they're serving you divorce papers, and you're like, but hold on. To you personally, and what your physical reality was presented to you, everything was fine. And it's not to say that you haven't been an upstanding partner. I feel like a lot of you have. However, there is a shift that requires that the person who you're with might not necessarily be the right fit to come with you, and vice versa. You might not be the right fit to come with them. Or this could be you waking up in the morning just randomly just being like, this relationship ain't for me no more, this home ain't for me no more, this location ain't for me no more. Do you know what, like, I can't do this. Some of you, I'm even hearing, like, your kids, some of you that have teenage kids, especially if you're like a single parent, but you don't have to be a single parent. I'm seeing like the ages of 16, 17. I'm seeing a boy in particularly, but it could be a girl too, okay? Or a tomboyish, like a girl that's like tomboyish kind of thing. But your teenagers coming to you and saying, yeah, mom, dad, or guardian, yeah, I don't want to live with you guys no more. I'm deciding to go live with grandma. I'm going to go live with granddad. Or I'm going to go and live with Uncle Charlie in, I just said, the Philippines. Uncle Charlie in the Philippines. Or Uncle Thomas in Bahamas. Literally, there's a lot of shifts and changes. However, I'm hearing roll, you know that saying, roll with the punches. Spirit's like, no, roll with the nuggets, okay? The golden nuggets, roll with them, okay? Because this is all happening not just for your benefit, but the people that are around you, okay? And because these abrupt changes are happening, they're doing so to get you uncomfortable so that you can finally shift onto the timeline that you are meant to be on. This is for those of you that haven't necessarily been in a space of like feeling like you can do the work or you can make the choice, okay? Because this has been a long time coming. Some of you have literally just been comfortable and been like, you know what, this is it, you know, I can't shift, I can't move, because some of the situations, the environments you're in has not given you the energetic space to explore the deeper parts of you, okay? I wanted to say the deeper and darker parts of you. And when I say dark, I'm not talking about, you know, evil or bad or whatever. I just mean the parts of you that you really haven't gotten acquainted with, and you really haven't really sat with to understand what makes those parts of you so dark that you're not willing to explore them. It's kind of like shadow work. You haven't had that exploration of self, or to even explore certain aspects of your spiritual being, or of the being that you are on a soul level and on an energetic level. And now spirit is like clearing this so that this can happen. And I'm also most feeling like this light energy, like this light-hearted energy, you know, like when you come out of the sauna for the first time and you feel lighter and the air just feels fresh, or you come out of like a Reiki session and your energy just feels light. It's almost as if this is what is going to be happening for a lot of you. Okay, let me get my water because it's not even nowhere near me. So yeah, that's what I feel like's happening. I feel like there's just a lot of uprooting to really put you on the path that you are supposed to be on. And I feel like a lot of you as well, I'm just trying to remember what else was said in the other video. Like, yeah, so a lot of you as well, this is happening because it's kind of been like, some of you have just been living a life of denial. Some of you have just, you've been okay with obviously there's an understanding of contentment and being thankful for what you have, but some of you have been content to your own detriment because your inner child has been suppressed from doing the things that it loves and it enjoys, okay? And some of you have may have noticed that with you being content, and to be honest, not even contentment, it just feels like settling. There has been some type of weight gain that has come with this. I'm hearing joint pain, like aches, pains, niggles, things before, because you are not in a space of creation. It's in a space of like chosen stagnancy is what spirit is saying to me, okay? And this is not what you quite envisioned for yourself. In fact, this is not what you envisioned for yourself at all. If you recap your moments as an inner child and even as a teenager, okay, you was young, free, and wild. And your spirit team are wanting you to recapture that again. They want you to recapture that wild, young, and free spirit, okay? And bring that back. And spirit is also saying, for those of you that have been in this space of you know, worrying about your weight, because there's something here about weight and body image. Worrying about your weight and feeling like you don't look how you once did, or know that you could get back to how you once was, or even better, or surpass that stage. You have to make a choice to move. You have to make a choice to stand out. And this is funny, because some of you are in this phase where you're about to be seen, yeah? Be seen in a way that you ain't never been seen before, and it's scaring the shit out of you. Some of you may have noticed it already. Now, I feel like I'm speaking to those of you that shine really, really bright inside out. Like your soul just speaks for itself. It shines through, okay? When people, you know, come and they interact with you and they speak with you, they really see the energy that is oozing out of your auric field, okay? Now, some of you kind of experience this every day, where you may go out and people are just randomly looking at you and you get stares and so on and so forth. And I do feel like you're someone who's quite eccentric. You could be someone who kind of stands out from the crowd, like your dress sense, how you speak, how you present yourself, how you know, look, things like that, right? You really pride yourself in individualism, individuality, and uniqueness, okay? You're a unique soul and being. You really pride yourself in that. You could be someone who's an Aquarius, okay? I'm also getting Sagittarius. But there is something here about you being in a space where that is going to amplify even more so. You might be in a space where people already look at you and like, oh shit, is there something on my face? Why are people staring, right? But it's because of your essence. But that is amplifying even more so. Why? Because you're in this space where you're about to be seen on a level that you didn't even think was possible for you, okay? And it's kind of gonna be like, it's gonna be like, instead of people just staring, people are going to want to interact with you. Like, they're going to want to talk to you, they're going to want to share things with you, they're going to want to be in your energy, they're going to want to try and be your friend. It's almost as if like it's a moth to like flames in a sense. But this is because spirit is getting you okay with being seen. Some of you have maybe been in the hermit role for so long. Now they're literally taking you out. Remember I said they about to lift that house with you in it, baby. They don't care. So they're putting you right where you need to be. And this is going to kind of startle you a little bit, because you're going to notice that even more so, communicating with people and just your gifts in general. Okay, yeah, all right. So just your gifts in general. Spirit is saying basically they have given you these gifts, and they have put you in a space of solitude and being in this energy of being a hermit, right? You have fine-tuned your gifts, you have worked on your gifts, you have practiced your gifts, you have developed your gifts. But they're saying we didn't just give you these gifts for you to hoard them, for you to keep them to yourself. We gave you these gifts so that you could dabble down on them and really practice them, enjoy them, and then be able to share them with the masses, share them with the people. They're like, you are the firework, okay? And you are supposed to spark and enlighten other people, literally. And then they're giving me the image of like, you know, when you go to watch a firework art show kind of thing, and the firework gets sent off into the sky, right? You hear shoo, right? It's like I'm seeing that, but then I'm seeing a child watching a firework for the first time and being in awe, like, oh my god, wow, look how pretty it is. You're the firework, and a child is representing the masses that are watching the firework display. Do you understand? So this is what Spirit's saying. We've given you these gifts and abilities, and for some of you, you may feel like, no, I heard I'm hearing he's not ready, they're not ready. Like, but you are ready. You very much are ready. They're not wanting you to be in a space of perfectionism to the point where you feel like, oh yeah, this is perfect. There is that right now is the perfect moment, is what Spirit's saying for you to execute what it is that you want to execute. Okay. Because you are meant to share your gifts and your abilities with other people. All right. um Now, when it does come to this evening, okay, I do feel like there is a lot of you that are in this space of you might find it very difficult to sleep, and I'm seeing a lot of energy beings around you, a lot of star beings around you. Okay, now for some of you, you may be noticing that when it comes to your spirit team, those of you that are spiritually aware and those of you that are working on your mission and your quest, and you're really developing that connection or have that connection established already with like your angels, your spirit team, your ancestors, source energy, you may notice that your spirit teams have been a bit quiet. You may be calling on certain guides by name and you're not getting a response. Your spirit team is being shifted and reorganized. I'm also hearing some of you are getting counsels. You have a spiritual council now, and that's to do with the ranking that you have gone up, because you are someone who's well respected, is also what I'm hearing. And because of the level and where you're at, in particular, there's something about you gaining your own spiritual council, okay, as opposed to a team. There's something about council here, okay, or you being initiated into a star council, okay, or a federation of some sorts in the galactic realms. So I am seeing that as well. So while the reorganization and the shifting's happening, it might be a little bit quiet. However, you do still have your main guides and ancestors there to assist you. So you may find that those guides that you call on regularly have been reassigned, but you do have new ones that are coming in, and they will introduce their selves when the times are right. Okay. But there was a lot of like star communication, and as disclosure, we're getting closer and closer to disclosure, aren't we, where we are understanding that the galactic integration is happening, and it's happening at a rapid pace. There we go. Exciting times. And knowing that obviously us as human beings, we are not the only one that resides on this realm of existence. There is going to be a lot of contact, and a lot of you is going to be through dreams first, but I am seeing that a lot of you are going to be developing. There's something about your clairaudience, like out the woo-ha, like you're hearing everything, and that's how a lot of your star family is going to be communicating with you at this particular time. Now, I did pull cards, okay, so I'm just going to try a recap. I'm just going to try a recap, okay. The first card that I had pulled was Surrender to the Sweetness, Venus energy. Okay, so you could be someone who's a Taurus or a Libra, or you have that somewhere in your big three. Venus and Mercury as well. Okay. But there is something here about you allowing yourself to surrender, okay, because there's not much that you can do. Like, for instance, if you do get made redundant from your job or let go from your job, that all happened for a particular reason. Okay, something about lily pads here as well, frogs and lily pads. Some of you are needing to nurture your inner gardens. Your inner gardens right now need tending to, because as things start to change, shift and erupt, okay, you're going to need a place of refuge, and that refuge is going to be within you. You know how you have an altar on the outside of you that you can decorate and add things to? You need to create your own internal altar and go to that. So it's your landscape within yourself. So your landscape where you can be who you want to be, create the character that you want to create and be in that. Because once you create that, that's going to start to reflect on the outside of you, is also what I'm hearing, okay? But there is something about making love to life. Now, right now, life might not necessarily feel real lovable right now. It might not. It might not, but right now you're in the space of being cracked open. So remember when I was talking about you being in the space where you are merging your human and your star being together, and some of those star characteristics are being merged into this vessel or your vessel. That's currently what's happening. But also, I just feel like a lot of your higher self attributes are being grounded and anchored into you at this time. So you may notice that your thought patterns are very different. Like how you may used to be reactive before, you're not. You're kind of sitting and observing, and that's what the higher self usually does. The higher self usually observes, but it does not label. it observes and it does not label, in the sense that it will observe what's going on, but it won't put a meaning or a feeling or an emotion to it. It will assess it and energetically feel it out to see what it is trying to be told, and act from that space, as opposed to acting from irrationality. Okay, so you are being cracked open. There could also be a lot of people around you in the space at the moment where they don't necessarily understand you. And I'm also feeling as well, for some of you, you've been in a space where you've been finding it hard to articulate what you've been going through. Some of you, this could be your first awakening. Others of you, this could be your quickening, where you're going through many awakenings. It's so funny because outside looks dark, but the reflection I'm seeing, it almost looks like the sky looks kind of like purplish pink. Okay, because so some of you could be in that space where you could be looking at sunset, so you're noticing that there's color shifts within the skies of where you are currently residing. Okay, I'm here in New Zealand for some weird reason, but yeah, some of you could be in a space where you'll find it hard to articulate what it is that you're going through, and it doesn't matter how much you try to go through the English dictionary or the earthly language to try and describe what it is that you're experiencing and feeling. You just cannot put the words to the feelings. Okay, and this is fine. Spirit is just saying, be in a space of expressing it in whatever way you feel. So whether that is writing it down in your journal, drawing, dancing, playing music, making beats, learning a new craft or something of that nature, dancing, creating, walking, exercising, yoga, reading, playing golf or tennis. You could be a golf or tennis player. Some of you do it for sport, you do it for fun, something of that nature. Going on an airplane, because I'm hearing an airplane now, catching a flight or something. Okay, it's a lot of the people around you are not necessarily going to understand. Okay, they're not necessarily going to understand, and you kind of have to be okay with it. I don't mean you have to be like, oh yeah, that you know, they'll come around, but you have to be okay with it. And I'm starting to feel a bit like sleepy, so some of you could have been feeling like really drained, really tired. This is also part of the ascension symptoms, but I feel like some of you, I'm hearing your family or friends have been giving you a lot of shit, like a lot of slack, like feeling like you are different and you're not who you once used to be. And I feel like some of you have tried to revert back to that, like you've tried to revert back to the person you once was to make them happy, and you are really seeing that it's just not working. And if anything, it's making you more ratty, it's making you more irrational, it's making you more explosive and reactive, and that's not necessarily what you was aiming to do when you decided to go back to the old way of being. But it's just like, you can't hold that old version in this new version that's trying to be birthed through you, you know. And some people are going to understand and some people aren't. Like you've gone for a complete career shift or complete identity shift as well, and a lot of people are trying to figure out when this identity shift took place, because for some of them it feels like it was literally overnight. It's like you cracked open and became this, it's totally new person, and that's because of, you know, you timeline jumped, you quantum jumped, you went through one of the life openings that was presented to you, and for some people it just seems a little bit out of the ordinary. Okay, so the other card you got was star bathing, bathing. Okay, and it says light body, crystal grid transitions, activations. And like I said, I just spoke about the activations already, but I do feel like there's something here about the as well as the light body, but like I said, the star body is activating too. Some of you could be dabbling and learning about crystal gridding, so you could be doing crystal gridding in your home, you could be doing it around your home as well in your area, or you could be learning about different crystal griddings and seeing how they work for you. Also, when it comes to the aspect of crystals, some of you are able to read light codes. You may have noticed that you have the gift for reading light codes. Okay, so that's like coded language within light. Okay, and some of you could be reading the codes like within crystals. So for instance, you could be holding like a clear quartz crystal and you could see like the certain cracks and lines, but some of those cracks and lines and formations in them are actually codes, and you're able to actually read the codes within the crystals. Okay, so you could be noticing that's a new ability that you do have. And some of you could literally just be, I'm even hearing water codes as well. So some of you could have like a cup of water and it's like you're almost seeing through your clairvoyance the impressions of the codes that are coming off of the water. Okay, And this is with anything as well. You could be seeing it in, say, wood or grass or trees or things like that. You're receiving energy codes and you can read them right off the back. Even if it looks like gibberish to you, you can see that there's some kind of understanding in it for you. Or if it looks like gibberish to others, you can see the understanding in it for yourself. Okay. Okay, so the other card that you did get was baby steps. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. So a lot of you have been in the space, right? You've been in a very logical mind. I feel like I'm speaking to like a Virgo or a Capricorn, right? I want to say Taurus, but sometimes I find that Taurus is, not all, but Taurus are more likely to take risks rather than a Virgo or a Capricorn. I think Virgos are more likely as well. But from what my own personal experience, I found that Taurus are more risk takers as opposed to the other two earth signs. But I feel like for those of you that are earth, you don't have to be. I just feel like this is I'm speaking to someone particular, so it will resonate. Some of you have been in the space where it's just been complete illogical thinking for you, and if it don't make sense, you ain't making a move, baby. It's almost as if from now your emotions are going to be overriding what you are feeling, and your emotions are going to tell you to go, but your mind's going to be like, well, hold on, that don't make no sense because we don't have this and we don't have that and we don't have this and we don't have that and we don't have this and we don't have that and blah. Okay, your heart and your brain are like, this is not matching up, right? But your heart's like, go for it, kind of thing. So this is what I'm seeing. So it's almost as if like your heart's going to be like, go, do this, do this, do this. And you're like, but there's no logical reason why we need to do this. Go for it. It might not make sense to your ego and your mind, but it will make sense to your heart and your intuition. If your intuition says go, baby, go. And when you get there, it will make sense. And if it don't make sense right off the back, few weeks, few months, even a few years, it will make sense. If I tell you the amount of times that I have gone off of my intuition and it ain't made not a lick of damn sense, and it might not even make sense in the moment of me doing it, but when I get to a point where I'm doing something that has nothing to do with what they told me to do, and it all starts to click, oh my god, that's why they wanted me to do it. Like, it will start to click, right? Like literally come together like a whole puzzle piece, yeah, that has like 100 pieces, and you couldn't never get that puzzle piece together, and then you have all 99 pieces placed perfectly, and then you have the one last 100 piece, you place it in and it completes the picture. That's literally what it's like. Okay, so follow your intuition. Baby steps, of course, use your discernment. And I feel like your discernment is very, very strong because of the situations you've had to go through and you've had to learn and you've had to grow. But, you know, follow your intuition. Something here about you going for a portal door. And there's something here about Jupiter and Neptune as well. I want to say Pisces and Gemini. Pisces, Gemini, I'm seeing Aquarius as well. Okay. I'm just seeing a ring around the planet. Something significant. And the 4 moons. Okay. So you also had the other card, which was Whale and Orcas. Orca Elders. Share your song frequency or sound. Diving deep. Okay. So remember earlier I said there's something about you diving deep into the deepest and darkest parts of yourself, of you. But I'm also getting this thing about some of you, your voice is being activated for you to become singers. Some of you may have been people who maybe used to sing when you was younger, like in your younger years, or some of you are in love with singers. You've always felt like maybe you have had a voice, but you just don't know necessarily like how you would navigate it. Or some of you are in this space where you just have this love for music. You never necessarily saw yourself as a musician, and you don't necessarily just have to be a singer. You could be someone who dabbles and is experimenting with different musical instruments. Okay, I'm seeing like the flute, I'm seeing also the tambourine, I'm seeing steel pan as well. Drumming is also significant, or even being on an orchestra. Okay, something about that. Okay, I'm seeing Indian flute as well. Okay. Is that a saxophone? Yeah, saxophone. and trumpet. Trumpet? Yeah, trumpet. So you could be in a space where you're dabbling more into music, but you are learning. What's drawing you to it is the harmonics and the frequencies. Okay, some of you are going to be frequency artists, so you're going to be merging certain frequencies together that are uplifting as opposed to diminishing and controlling like people and the masses. Okay, star music is also what I'm hearing. Starseed music, starseed frequency is just music that adheres to the soul as opposed to controlling the soul. Okay, is what I'm seeing. Also, some of you are connected to whales and dolphins. Some of you in your past lives, you may have been a whale, you may have been a dolphin. Maybe this is why you've had such an attraction to whales and dolphins. But there's something about hearing the dolphins frequencies or the whales frequencies or the way that they communicate. So maybe at night time before you go to sleep, maybe you need to put on like a whale or dolphin soundtrack where you can just hear the frequencies. And some of you, I'm also hearing that you may start to notice that you're understanding what is being said through those frequencies. Okay, because even though we can't necessarily understand them because of the octaves of the pitch that they're speaking at, it's still a level of communication, and if it was brought down to our octaves we would be able to interpret it. But because it is at such a high octave, such high frequencies and things like that, we can't necessarily understand it. But a lot of us can, that those are connected to animals where they can communicate with them telepathically. So there is something here about you understanding those frequencies. But I don't feel like you're just connecting with dolphins, whales, mammals. I'm getting like turtles, tortoises, seals, things like that. I also feel like you're connecting with the astral sea mammals as well, so astral dolphins, astral whales, things like that, and also different let's say sea mammals from different realms. Okay, there's something here connecting even the mammals and whales of Sirius, the Sirius planet, like the Sirius planets I should say. But I feel like that's what you're connecting to. Okay, it's almost as if a lot of you might need to do some meditations connected to whales and dolphins so that they can transport you. There's something, I don't know if you see that portal door there. Yeah, there's a door there, right? And there's something about you going through the door or them helping you to ascend so you can go through this door. Okay, seeing beneath the veil or something like that is significant as well. Okay, karmic relations is the card that's at the bottom of the deck, but I didn't actually read this card before. Orion energy, polarity, soul growth and conflict. Yeah, so remember when I was talking about you being in this space where it's like some of you might leave certain situations and so on and so forth. It's all for good reasons. Okay, so you see how there's two earths here. She's standing on one and the other person standing on the other. Yeah, that's a split, baby. And some of you, you're seeing that the split's happening. The split is happening. So that's why this disconnect's happening, because some of you are on, let's say, new earth and the others are on old earth. Now, it's not to say they can't switch at any time. They can. But for right now, you have to focus on the ascension as opposed to the dissension. It's kind of what I'm feeling as well. Okay, this video is like 32 minutes. Okay, cool. And this is the second video. It's ain't even the first one. I will add them together. So I'm just thinking, is there anything else that I forgot? Anything else? I had just heard, lo and behold, you are on the rise, you are rising up, you are being seen. Okay, you are being seen because there is so much for you to communicate. Okay, you are the new energy speakers, the new energy players, energy leaders, energy thought leaders. Like you are here to make a difference. Okay, and even though it might not make sense now, it will make sense. And yes, there is a shake-up. The shake-up is happening. The shake-up is happening so that you can move, so that you can shift, so that you can ascend, so that you can become better. The shake-up's happening so that you can show yourself and prove to yourself that you are better than what you once were, and are continuously growing and evolving and becoming more and more and more. You are not in a space of just being mundane or being stuck in one place. You are multifaceted, and it's time for you to explore your multifaceted self through exploration, through play, through fun, through curiosity, through risk taking, and also through detachment. The art of detachment is also something that's very, very significant. Ask for what you want and then let it go as if it's already there, or that you're not so bothered by it. Of course you're bothered by it, but it's not taking up space where it's becoming a desperate need or want. It's you knowing that it will come when it is meant to come. It will flow when it is meant to flow. It will be received when it is meant to be received. I'm hearing go forth, my child, go forth, my darling, and explore. Yes, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything more. I just saw orb as well. Okay. But just know your psychic gifts and abilities are about to be out the woo-ha, especially for those of you that have clear audience. You're going to be hearing a lot more, baby. You're going to be dropping in on people's conversations as well, honey. But this is all for a reason, okay? Just let it unfold, baby. Just let it unfold. So yeah, I would say be very aware of like the things that you are wanting to bring in for the eclipse season, what you are letting go of. Yeah, it's just that kind of look like a spaceship to me. There's something about kaleidoscopes as well. Okay, it's so funny because this corner part of the card almost looks like a spaceship. Okay, so some of you could be dreaming about spaceships, okay, or something about kaleidoscopes. Also, some of you losing track of time. Some of you losing track of time, like feeling like, oh, you look at the clock and you're like, oh yeah, it's only 2 p.m. and then you look again and then it's 4 and you're like, how the hell did I miss 2 hours? Like just not, yeah. Some of you are like timeline shifting, timeline surfing. I think that's for a separate video. Yeah, that's for a separate video. But yeah, our blessings, message resonance, send you loads of love. Hopefully just one saves 2. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Later. And happy eclipse season.